Hey everyone, it's Joe Williams with Texas Veterans Outdoors. As many of you know, we are a support community for veterans who looks to empower veterans to help one another and utilize their training and experiences from the military to become key figures in their local communities. In our podcast, you're going to hear from veterans themselves, as well as the supporters of our organization each week. I want to extend a personal thank you to Mama J with Texas Red Hot Radio for the tremendous support that we get on a daily basis from her and her staff. This week, we're speaking with Taylor Winsler, who is the owner of Laguna Madre Clothing Co. We have Taylor on the phone with us, and let's jump right into it.
Hey, Joe. It's a great opportunity to be here on the phone with you guys.
Hey, Taylor. It's good to have you, buddy. Now I know you're from the Houston area. Where exactly are you at down there?
Born and raised in Houston, Texas. Lived here my whole life, man. So I'm a Texan through and through.
Oh, okay. Now, I've flown into a Houston executive there in Brookshire quite often, man. About how close are you to that?
I grew up on the west side of Houston, right where Beltway 8 and I-10 meet. So a little bit out further towards Katy, but from downtown, but right in the West Houston area.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, you're definitely in a sports hotbed down there. What is it that actually you did, man, when you were growing up to keep you out of mom and dad's hair?
Man, it's funny that you asked that, Joe, because I did a little bit of everything growing up. In middle school, I played football. In high school, I really got into combat sports. So I started off as a wrestler. I won states in middle school for wrestling, and then when I got to high school, I really started to take interest, and that's when, combat sports really started to take a hold and start to gain some notoriety. So I joined a mixed martial arts gym, and my background in wrestling kind of really transferred well into that. And I was actually, with mixed martial arts, I was able to meet a lot of people who had trained through the military and through their service, who trained either Krav Maga or another certain type of, hand-to-hand combat for different things. And that taught me a lot of things as a kid, a lot of discipline. I learned really quick that, you have to be humble and you have to kind of stay true to your roots because, with mixed martial arts, it's just, if you go in there too cocky, too confident, you don't know what you're doing, you're going to get popped really quickly. So I did that, wrestling, and obviously lots and lots of fishing and hunting. That's something that my dad and my family kind of grew up around, and every weekend we'd get away to go duck hunting or, go fishing or try to find the lake here in Houston where we can catch some largemouth bass. So, a little bit of everything when I was a kid.
This is the stuff that I like to hear. It's somebody who got out of the military and was able to make an impact on somebody's life at a young age, man. It's I love hearing stuff like that. Was that your first time being around anybody that had some type of military affiliation at all?
That was really my first exposure to veterans and people who had served in the military. I was 12 or 13 years old, sparring with some of these people who had gotten out of the military. So I learned very quickly, what it's like to serve in the military, to be a veteran, and to come back to civilization after you've served or after you've been on tour somewhere. And so, as a young kid, I took notice to that very quickly, that, veterans in the U.S., there's a lot of them, and, they're in all sorts of industries, all sorts of walks of life. And some of them you might not even know are veterans. So that's my first exposure. And I did have a few folks, a couple of distant cousins and uncles, none that I was really close with, that had served in the military. But yeah, that was really my first exposure to meeting people who had served in the military.
Man, thanks for sharing that. It really is something that is overlooked by society nowadays, is how veterans who return after serving and are able to make an impact on their communities. It seems daily someone is in the media or even social media at that is bashing veterans or giving them, or labeling them is probably a better term, as dysfunctional, broken, or, having mental problems and so forth. So I'm really glad to hear this. And after you receive like that type of influence from those guys, were they telling you, hey, go to the military, or did you give college a try?
Yeah, I took a longer stab than I should have. I started off, so I graduated from high school. I went to College Station, Texas, in hopes of attending Texas A&M. And I did that, and so when I went to College Station, I had met two of my friends that I'm still friends with today, Gary and David, and that was where the foundation of the company was actually laid. So for those who don't know, we here at Laguna Madre Clothing, we do performance hunting and fishing apparel, and when I was in College Station, that's when it started. Was during the week we would be studying for tests and preparing for class and things like that, and the weekend we would be fishing. And we had the idea one day when we were on the water. We said, man, the shirts we're wearing, they were uncomfortable, they were hot, and we said, let's take a stab at starting a fishing and hunting apparel company. And so that's where the foundation was laid for that. And throughout college, we started to grow the brand a little bit more and more. And so after 2 or 3 years in College Station, I transferred to Texas State University in San Marcos, Texas. And there I graduated. It's kind of funny, nothing to do with business or fishing at all. I graduated with a degree in special education. And so, I have a very soft spot in my heart for, folks with disabilities, because my little brother is actually on the autism spectrum. So I got a degree in special education, graduated a few years ago, and I've been doing Laguna Madre ever since. So I would definitely say I had a less than traditional college experience, but I had the opportunity in College Station to meet people from who are also involved in the military, people who have served in the Corps of Cadets, who plan on serving in the military, and then I went to Blinn College, which was kind of a junior college, the sister school of Texas A&M. And Joe, I met a lot of veterans and servicemen and women at that community college, because there's a lot of people who are coming back and wanting to get their degree, and you'd be surprised of how many veterans are in the classroom and trying to better themselves and pursuing a degree and kind of working their way up the educational ladder. And it was really great to see, and college was a great experience for me. So yeah, that's pretty much the rundown of how college went for me, man. It was a good time. I learned a lot of good things, and by no means is it necessary for anybody, but it was a good experience for me, man. I really enjoyed my time there. So.
What was it that caused the light bulb to go off saying, man, I'm going to do this? I don't want to work for someone else and then learn the business. I'm doing this for myself. This is what I want to do with my life.
When we first started, it was the drive to want to do something different. We'd seen a lot of other different apparel companies and the products that they were offering, and you could say that we just weren't really satisfied with what they were offering. Either, the fabric wasn't great, or the design on the back didn't look cool. We decided that we wanted to try something, and we didn't want to join something and try to input what our ideas were. That's not really what we were about. We wanted to start something completely fresh, something new, something innovative, and something that is relatable with people from a certain area. And our area, obviously, is going to be Texas. So we took a look at all the designs that are out there, all the fishing and hunting designs, and for the most part, the fishing designs on the back of any apparel that you see, you're just going to see, mahi-mahi and marlin and sailfish and all the really, pretty and colorful, vibrant fish. And we kind of looked at each other at the store one day. We were like, man, we don't fish for this. We're Texas coastal fishermen. We fish the bay, sometimes go after largemouth bass, but rarely do we get the chance to run offshore and target some of those really big species. So we wanted something that local fishermen and people that hunt Texas can really look at and say, hey, that's representative of the area that I'm familiar with, that I fish and hunt at, and that's the apparel that we wanted to see. So that's why we started Laguna Madre Clothing Company, and we're trying to do something a little different.
Well, I'm so glad you guys did, because I personally spent a lot of money on Under Armour throughout the years, ever since 1999 when I lived in Hawaii. I needed clothing that was moisture wicking and could be worn as casual wear. As soon as I got my hands on your product and seen it met my needs, oh, I was amazed. I'm like, I need casual wear clothing that represents my lifestyle. I'm on the go. I'm in the sun. I need a loose fit for comfort. If I'm out there fishing, man, I don't want to be wearing something tight and so forth. I want something loose and comfortable and something that breathes. Same way if I'm sitting in a deer blind. If I'm sitting on a ground blind, and it's in June, July, and August, and we're hog hunting here in Texas, it's going to be 90s or plus. I need something that breathes, man. I don't need something that compresses me in a tight, and so forth. But then again, where I'm at in my life now, I don't need to be walking around looking like I'm wearing gym clothes all the time either. I love something that has an outdoors theme to it, and it represents what we do at Texas Veterans Outdoors. As soon as I got your UPF 50 shirts in hand, I couldn't believe it. I'm just being honest with you. I'm not going to blow smoke. I literally, I was almost speechless. I was like, no way. I don't believe what I'm seeing. Here is something that meets all the needs that I need, from a personal standpoint. And then seeing the hand-painted art designs that those guys did, how the ink was like a part of the shirt. It wasn't something that was just slapped on or, whatever the process is, where it seems like you wash it and it comes apart in the washer. I was like, there's no way. Where has this been? To me, it was something that is just kind of leading the industry per se. Now, granted, I don't know the industry, but it was something to me that just stood out and said, this is us. This is our performance line right here. We've got to get involved on this. And I know you touched on it earlier about how the company was started from an idea, and I want to go back to it right here. For those listeners who aren't familiar with Laguna Madre Clothing Company, tell us, what the company's about and what the current demographic of your customers are as well.
Sure, Joe. So Laguna Madre Clothing Company, we specialize in performance hunting and fishing apparel. And so there's a few things about our apparel company that separate us from everybody else in the outdoor wildlife community. The first thing being our fabric. It's UPF 50. So 1/50th of the sun's UV rays are allowed to pass through. So if you're out on the water for 7 or 8 hours at a time, you need something that's going to cover and protect your skin. So our garment offers one of the highest skin protection ratings that you can find in a performance shirt. So that's really good for people who are on the water for a long time, who like to be out in the sun. Here in Texas, if it's summertime, the sun is shining, and you need to be wearing sunscreen, and not a lot of people like to do that. So especially when they're out fishing, it makes it feel weird. You have to reapply it every couple of hours. So our shirts protect you from the sun. And then also our artist is really the defining factor. You had mentioned it, Joe, about the artwork and about the designs that we're offering. The artist, without the artist, we'd kind of be scratching our heads, because most apparel companies, what they do is they take a computer-generated graphic or a vector or a digital piece of art, and then they'll put it on the back of a shirt. And so what we've done is we've partnered with actual outdoor wildlife artists, to produce really awesome and representative designs. So everything starts on the canvas with us. Nothing is computer generated or everything starts on a canvas, and behind that canvas is a seasoned and veteran wildlife artist. So we have 4 different artists that we're partnered with, and 3 of those are from Texas. And so with the combined experience of our 4 artists, we have over 120 years of painting and designing in the Texas wildlife artwork community.
Hey, Taylor, who are the artists? I know I've been literally gone out of Texas for almost a decade. And seeing their names was new to me. So definitely talk to us about the artists because they deserve a lot of credit.
4 different artists. 3 of them are from Texas. I'll just name them off just so you can kind of get an idea. We have Raul Andrade from Harlingen. And so he's been fishing and hunting in the Rio Grande Valley for the past 45 years of his life. So all of his artwork is really representative of that South Texas, the Laguna Madre, Port Aransas, Corpus Christi, all those different areas can really be picked out in his artwork. We've got Calvin Carter from Port Neches. He's from East Texas, and a lot of his stuff is very representative of that area as well. We also have Rainey Mcgovern. He's actually born in Louisiana but lives in Ackworth, Georgia now. So he's a well-known name in the artwork community. He's participated in the federal duck stamp competition many times, as has Calvin. And then we also have another artist that we just most recently added. His name's Lowell Shapley. He's also from East Texas as well. So without those guys, we really couldn't produce some of the really great designs that we have. So the artwork, the fabric, and then just knowing Texas and knowing our customers and knowing that they fish the bay and go hunt for duck and for dove, and it's knowing our customers and what kind of designs to produce allows us to go to our artists and say, hey, I think we just recently did a South Texas Nelguy. We said, I think that would be cool. We've never seen a Nelguy. So we do something a little different. And we're always trying to push the boundaries as far as, new designs go. So we want to, release something that people have never seen before, and that you kind of stop and look at and say, wow, I've never seen that detailed of a buck on the back of a shirt, or I've never seen, a covey of quail, taken off on the back of a shirt. So, we have a lot of really special things that we can offer here at Laguna Madre, not just the fabric and the artist, but also with customization and custom printing. And that's something I'm really excited to do with Texas Veterans Outdoors, is to take some of this, immaculate artwork that we have and to incorporate it and offer it to veterans and put a fresh look on it for Texas Veterans Outdoors. So I'm really excited about that, Joe, and it's been a fun couple of years growing this company to where it is, and I'm extremely excited and honored that you guys would want to partner with my company. That means a great deal to me. So
You're very welcome, man. Just keep doing what you're doing. The unique products is what makes you stand out. And what was the very first product that you actually sold?
When we first started in the apparel industry, we were just doing, basic cotton T-shirts. And, we were in College Station, and we had a small boutique there called Harley's that held our products. So we were just doing, basic cotton T-shirts. And, we quickly found out we have all this great wildlife artwork. We should do something on performance material and really kind of cater ourselves towards hunting and fishing enthusiasts. And, so we started off with that, just a basic cotton shirt.
Well, it's good to hear that something as simple as a cotton T-shirt is what has launched you into this performance line apparel with the product that truly impresses me. What other stuff do you have out there for people that aren't familiar with your brand?
So we offer a line of performance and hunting fishing apparel. The garments are UPF 50, and so we offer the UPF 50 shirt, and a women's and ladies' cuts, and that comes in 6 or 7 different colors. We also have a kids' garment. And the sizes, I'm sorry, for the women's, we have extra small through extra large and large, and the men's we go all the way up to 3XL. And we also do a variety of caps and decals and other kind of merchandise that we do. So shirts, decals, hats, headwear, all the kind of stuff you'd expect from a normal apparel company.
Man, it's great to hear how you guys went from T-shirts and grew it into what it is today. And with that growth and that momentum still going for you, can you kind of give us a hint on maybe some of the future products that we're not seeing yet?
Yeah, we want to offer a larger variety of performance apparel for our customers. We want to offer some pocketed traditional fishing shirts. We'll come out with some more sun protective gear, like a face buff. And we're also I'm going to let you know, Joe, we're going to do some performance shirts with a built-in hood. So that's going to be something that's new for us in 2018 is having a performance garment with a hood that, you can pull up over your hat, and it'll protect your neck and also your ears as well. Sometimes that's the first thing to get burnt when you're out in the sun is, everything above the shoulders. So, that's the new garment that I'm coming out with that I haven't told anybody about. So y'all are the first to know about that hooded performance shirt. It also has really nice touch. It's the Texas flag is printed on the hood. So it's everything about the shirt, from the artwork to having the flag on the hood to the brand itself is going to be just Texas all through and through. So it's going to be a really fun release to see how people receive the hooded performance shirt.
I'm glad to hear you say that because we were out with Doug Roberts the other day on a fishing trip that he was doing for veterans, and he kept having an issue where, he was getting the fog up happening when he was wearing his gator.
Traditional face gators or buffs, as some people call them, that's the big major company that makes them, is, you have the buff on, and then if you have any kind of eyewear or sunglasses on, it starts to kind of fog up your sunglasses. So that's a big issue that people have ran into with wearing buffs is wearing face gaiters is having your glasses fog up. And so the hood is not a full coverage. You're not getting your nose and your below your nose is like a face gaiter would, but it's a good alternative to people that don't want to wear, they don't want to have something covering their mouth and their nose, but they do want to have that, that neck and ear and head protection that you sometimes want when you're out on the water. It's very easily to get burned even with sunscreen. So having something that is that protects you to where you don't have to layer up in sunscreen is kind of really crucial. I know a lot of people who are on the water, you bust out a bottle of sunscreen, they're like, no way. They for some reason think it affects the bite in some way or another, and some people just don't like the way it feels. So having that sun protection is really important.
Hey, I think it's a great idea that you got. Looking forward to it. With the increase in products that you're having, and which is obviously going to increase sales and demand for you, for veterans out there who's actually looking to become involved with your company, would you be willing to look at their resumes, artists or even people doing, that's willing to just do something part-time, say screen printing and stuff like that?
I'm definitely interested in, working with any kind of veteran artist. That's something that we don't really have at Laguna Madre. We have 4 different artists now. I don't know if I told you since we had last spoken, but 4 different artists, all of them, kind of specialize in outdoor wildlife artwork. So if there's any veterans out there that are interested in getting involved in something like this in the clothing industry, absolutely, please reach out to me, Taylor at LagunaMadreClothing.com, or you can go to our website, and shoot me a message there. I'd love to, see what people are creating, and I just love to talk art in general. So please do reach out to me if that's something that you're interested in. I'm also, completely open to employing veterans and, looking at some people who are interested in part-time work. I know that's something we had discussed about before, but as the company grows and as we kind of expand out from Texas into other states, there's definitely going to be a need for more people to get involved in the business. And I think that someone who's served in the military, who is a veteran and who has served our country, possesses the qualities and skills that I'm looking for, and people to get involved in my business. So open that up to anyone and everyone who's listening and who has served in the military. Please reach out to me if any of that sounds like something you'd be interested in.
Man, I appreciate that. That's, a business owner that's willing to, look out for veterans as well as give them employment. To me, that's amazing. I know one guy off the top of my head I'll refer to you by the name of Christian Stewart. I'd have to make a call to him, tell him about you and what you're doing and stuff. But that guy is just phenomenal when it comes to artwork. Everything he does is by hand, just purely amazing. But let's switch it up a bit. Let's get into doing what we call the hot seat. I'm going to throw you on the hot seat. I'm going to put a timer on you, and I'm going to give you two things. You choose one.
All right.
All right. I'm ready.
Sunshades or sunglasses?
Sunglasses.
You all or y'all?
Y'all.
Hunting, fishing,
I'd say fishing.
sleeping or working?
Working.
Coast Guard or National Guard?
Coast Guard.
Movie theater or home theater?
Home theater for sure. I can't stand the movies.
Air Force or Marine Corps?
Air Force.
Rattlesnake or water moccasin?
Rattlesnake.
Netflix or Fire Stick?
I'm not even sure what a Fire Stick is. I'm just gonna say Netflix.
Donald Trump or Donald Duck?
I'm gonna pick Donald Trump.
Army, Navy?
I'm gonna have to say Navy for my buddy Adam Hogan.
Hugh Hefner or Larry Flint?
Larry Flint.
And that is it. You are off the hot seat, my friend.
Woo! I made it.
Very easily. You easily made that. Hey, if folks want to get some of your apparel, where can they end up finding it at?
If anyone's interested in ordering any of the UPS 50 outdoor wildlife apparel, you can go to LagunaMadreClothing.com. And so that is just our online website. We have a few different retail locations that I'd like to just list off really quick. Anglers Anonymous in Katy, Texas. K6 Island Sports in Galveston, Texas. Slickwater Tackle in Clute, Texas. Hook, Line, and Sinker, and the Underwater Green Fishing Lights in League City. Those are all retailers that carry our product. So you can find our newest designs there as well. And then you can also find us at various hunting and fishing shows throughout the state. So we kind of travel month to month to different shows and different conventions here in Texas. And so if there's any kind of hunting or fishing convention that's in your city, you should find us there. And if you don't hear anything from us or don't see us posting about it on our website or social media, reach out to us because we're always interested in visiting new cities. And if there's any retailers out there or dealers that are interested, please reach out to us and talk to us about some carrying the product in your store. So any one of those particular avenues, you can find our apparel either online or in the retail locations.
Hey, with those trade shows that you just talked about, y'all got anything coming up here soon where folks could come out and get their hands on some stuff?
I heard that there's a crab festival in Galveston that I hadn't done in the past that a few friends have recommended to me. So I think that I might go try to check out that, it's just kind of a weekend thing down in Galveston. So I'm going to go hopefully set up a booth there, and we'll be on display in Galveston here in a couple of days.
At the trade shows, what all products can they usually see on hand with you?
Everything that we've released and that's new is going to be there with us at those trade shows. We're going to have all the apparel from the performance shirts, the hats, koozies, cups, decals, and then we'll also be carrying prints and originals from our different artists. So that's something that a lot of other clothing companies are not going to have. We're going to have the actual artwork that was created originally right next to the design on the shirt. So it's kind of a fun thing for people to, get a print and also get the shirt that comes with it. So.
Well, I appreciate the time that you've taken today and, all the support that you've given us. Feel free to let the veterans and anybody else that's listening out there know what you think. The mic's yours, buddy.
Well, I just want to, thank everybody that's part of Texas Veterans Outdoors to allow me to be a part of this organization and allow me to create something special for you guys and to help the organization grow in any way that I can. I felt honored when I was contacted by Joe to help, create something special and to be a part of the outreach and growth of, the organization. And I want to thank everyone that is involved, and I look forward to hopefully one day meeting everyone that's listening. So I appreciate the opportunity, and I'm honored that you guys would have me on the podcast to talk a little bit about the business. So I just want to thank everyone that's listening, and also you, Joe. I appreciate you, and it means a lot that you consider Laguna Madre Clothing for performance apparel for Texas Veterans Outdoors. I want to thank you, man.
Oh, you're more than welcome, man. And just only thing I ask of you is just keep doing what you're doing. Keep that focus on the way that you guys are going, and providing something unique that the hunting, and fishing world doesn't have. I'm really looking forward to some of the ideas that you had brought across me towards veterans, and I can't wait for that to hit the streets for sure. But thank you.
Thank you, Joe. I appreciate you having me on today.
Man, you're welcome. I appreciate it. And folks, I tell you what, this coming weekend, we've got the social hour kicking off on Friday over in Frisco at the Star. Also, Little Texas is playing Friday night at Billy Bob's. We'll have folks in there. That Saturday, 4 o'clock, it's college football. It's the Aggie game. That's right. The maroon versus white. That's going down. That's free for all of our veterans down in College Station. Saturday night, right back to Billy Bob's again. We got the Clay Walker concert. And Sunday morning, we've got the Mariachi Mass going down in San Antonio. And then right off the bat, after that, April 16th rolls in. On that Monday, we got the 16th through the 22nd down there in San Antonio, the PGA Tour's there. And they gave all those tickets to us for free. So we got a lot of stuff coming up this weekend, folks. Not only are we busy, but our veteran artist Shane Watson's busy on the 14th. He's in Canadian, Texas with his band. On the 16th, you can actually catch him at the ranch over in Irving. He's going to be with Texas Local Live doing that there. On the 17th, he's going to be over at Bedford at the Bedford Ice House doing his solo thing. And then on the 20th, he's kicking it right back to Fort Worth. He's going to have the full band at the White Elephant Saloon. So you can catch him any one of those times. Go up, let him know you're part of Texas Veterans Outdoors, and it's a red VIP carpet treatment. That's how it happens, folks. Until next week, see you later.